Hello, Meru TV viewers, and welcome to SIASA. Today on our SIASA program, we are talking about matters youth, and to discuss about this issue on youth, because we know youth, make a huge percentage of voters, and also a huge segment in this country, is Mr. Marvin Kimathi. Marvin Kimathi is the advisor to the governor on matters youth, and he is here to discuss with us about whether the issues of the youth have been achieved, and also what role will the youth play in the coming elections in 2022. Karibu.
Asante sana.
Marvo.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right.
Yes.
Maybe for the sake of our viewers, kindly, a quick introduction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meru viewers, my name is Marvin Kimathi, popularly known as Marvo Mzito. Basically the youth advisor to our Governor Kiraitu Murungi. And let me say I'm happy to be here with you guys today, and thank you for having me.
All right.
Yes.
Asante. Marvo, I want us to talk about the expectations of the youth and what role the youth will play in these coming elections
Yes.
in August 2022.
Yes.
You are an advisor to the governor on matters youth.
Yes.
Do you think the expectations of the youths of Meru have been met by the current governor? Or we know the governor has served for the last 5 years.
Yes.
Are the expectations of the youths of
Yes.
Meru
Yes.
been met by the governor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. When Governor Kiraitu Murungi was campaigning in 2017,
Yes.
he made quite a number of promises. And promise number 14 was talking about the youth.
Okay.
If you look at his manifesto, 2017 manifesto, and you go through promise number 14,
Yes.
the governor was telling the youth that he will create what he was calling an organization that he was calling Meru Youth Service.
Okay.
It was going to be the first of its kind, and he saw it, he viewed it as a revolutionary
Okay.
organization that was going to transform the fate of the youth of Meru. Meru Youth Service was brought about by the need, or by was brought about, the idea came out of realizing that the youth of Meru are suffering from what we call youth poverty and youth apathy.
Okay.
And what the governor wanted to do, he wanted to alienate the youth of Meru from youth poverty and youth apathy. He was saying that he wanted the youth to be equipped with skills so that now they can become job creators instead of job seekers.
Okay.
And what we need, he formed a committee, and I was actually part of that committee that was going to foresee the creation of Meru Youth Service.
Yes.
I want to say that we did a very good job. We came up with Meru Youth Service, and we enrolled the first cohort.
Okay.
I remember it was 1,000,
Uh-huh.
1,000 youth.
Yes.
And we took them through, our aim was to basically,
Yes.
we targeted the most vulnerable in the society.
Yes.
There were youth that are desperate, the youth that are have lost hope in life. Those are the ones that we went for.
Okay.
The makangas, the ones that are always roaming around in the villages,
Yes.
the drunkards, those are the ones that we took in. And so what the government wanted to basically do is give these youth hope.
Yes.
So when we took them, we took them through mindset change training. The committee was actually chaired by the one and only Dr. Bundi Karau.
Yes.
He's a son of the soil from Tigania. And we took them through mindset change training. We gave them hope. We brought in professional counselors, which changed their attitudes. And then after that, we enrolled them now in polytechnics.
Yes.
So what the governor intended was to give this youth training, hands-on skills.
Yes.
You see, hands-on skills right now, white-collar jobs are not enough.
Okay.
The Kenyan economy is not growing fast enough to create enough jobs,
Yes.
job opportunities
Yes.
for all the youth. So, but there is money from this other sector, this sector that involves hands-on skills.
Yes.
You know, hii kazi inafanywa kwa mikono. I'm talking about the plumbers,
Yes.
the masonists. I'm talking about these guys who work in the salon.
Yes.
You know, who plait hair,
Yeah.
the barbers. This is where the money is.
Yes.
For instance, if you go to Britain, a plumber makes much more
Uh-huh.
than a doctor does.
Yes.
So if you look at today, a plumber, the other day I was asking and I was being told that there are very few plumbers in, for example, in Meru town. And now this is now the sector that we are targeting.
Okay.
So we trained quite a huge chunk of the 1,000 youth.
Yes.
We trained them on plumbers, we trained them on masonry, others were trained on how to be electricians.
Yes.
And others, they ventured into the beauty and therapy course. And so now I'm happy to report that if you go to a barber shop in Meru town today,
Yes.
most likely you'll be attended to
Yes.
by the MYS trainee. So the governor promised MYS
Yes.
and he delivered.
Yes.
So I would say that it has been a success. And I would say that of what he promised the youth, he has delivered. Because that MYS is the first of its kind at the county level.
Yes.
And it has been held and it has been recognized by both the national government and as well as international bodies such as UN Habitat.
Okay.
Yes.
Marvin, you know, critics argue
Yes.
that you gave them the skills
Yes.
and the opportunities,
Yes.
but you never ever thought about the job opportunity
Yeah.
at the end of the training.
Yes.
How would you respond to that?
I'll respond by saying that ours was basically to change their attitude and give them an opportunity. Kuwafungua akili. We did a lot. We took them out of the villages, we brought them into school, and then we brought in partners such as KCB Foundation.
Okay.
What KCB Foundation did was, I would like to say that KCB has been a great partner to as far as MYS is concerned.
Yes.
KCB brought in that entrepreneurship bit.
Yes.
They were able to take these 1,000 youth through a short course in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And then they came in again and gave them tools. If you're a plumber, you're given the tools that go along with your line of work. If you're an electrician, if you're trained on electricals and those kind of stuff,
Yes.
you're given tools that relate to your line of work.
Yeah.
And then KCB again gave them interest-free loans. Interest-free loans. So those youth were able to access loans to start their own startups.
Okay.
I've met several of them even in so many towns across Meru. Some have opened electrical shops, others have opened barber shops. The plumbers, for example, if you go to Maua, most of the plumbers in Maua are from MYS.
Yes.
So they are called for various jobs. Whenever there's a building coming up somewhere and they need a plumber to install the pipes and what have you,
Okay.
they most likely call a trainee from MYS.
Okay.
So I would say the project wasn't perfect, 100% perfect.
Okay.
That is almost next to impossible. But we delivered our objective.
Okay.
And most of these guys have benefited.
Okay.
Of course, there are always a few who maybe were not able to pick up as we expected. But we thank God that majority were able to benefit from MYS.
All right. We are in the election period, Martin.
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yes,
And you know, the youth form a big chunk of our population
absolutely.
in the country and also in our county.
Sure.
They also form a big chunk of voters.
Yes.
But we have seen a situation whereby even in 2017, whereby the youth, ikifika time of elections, you don't see them voting.
Yes.
They will be there,
Yes.
cheer you in the crowds,
Yes.
but when it comes to the voting day,
Yes.
they don't vote.
It is
What
true.
do you think is the problem?
What I would say, I think it's the attitude and the perception of the youth.
Okay.
You know, we have power. If you look at these other big wigs, they have the money. But as the youth, we do not have the kind of resources that they have.
Okay.
But what we have is the numbers. With this power in numbers when it comes to politics. So if we can only realize, if the youth can only realize the power that we have,
Yes.
then we can use it to transform our fate
Okay.
as the youth. So it is true that in every election period,
Yes.
the youth most likely are only used as mere cheering spots.
Yes.
Personally, as a youth leader, we are trying to educate the youth on the importance of sitting at the table.
Okay.
That with the youth, you do not have, your role is not being a cheerleader.
Yes.
Your role is actually sitting down with that politician. We are encouraging the youth to sit down with the politicians that they are campaigning for. Before you campaign for any politician, sit down with them. Ask that MP aspirant or MCA or senator or governor, what will you do for us as a youth if we campaign for you and you win the election?
Yes.
That is the discussion that we need to start. This we are trying to kill what we call campaigning. We are trying to kill this tendency of youth campaigning for politicians just for mere handouts.
Okay.
That is a very bad trait, and we need to end it this year, 2022.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is to basically educate them and try to teach the youth that they need to ask for more than just mere handouts.
Okay.
That they need to ask for opportunities. When that particular politician wins the election, they need to demand for job opportunities, they need to demand for tenders, they need to demand for more other than mere handouts.
Okay.
Yes.
Your party leader, Kiraitu Murungi, is also the leader of the BAS party.
Absolutely.
Has the BAS administration been able to encourage youths to be leaders or to take up leadership positions?
Oh, yes.
Like elective positions?
Oh, yes. Actually, what I would say is that the youth of Meru are very lucky to have a leader such as Kiraitu Murungi. Kiraitu Murungi is one leader who supports the youth in a very big way.
Okay.
He's the only leader who has actually come up with practical solutions to help the youth politically and even economically.
Okay.
He has, for example, through MYS, empowered them economically. When it comes to politics, Kiraitu Murungi usually says that he was once a youth leader, and as a youth leader, he was involved in a movement called Young Turks.
Okay.
The Young Turks were basically comprised of Kiraitu Murungi, Anyang Nyong'o, we had the likes of James Orengo. These Young Turks were able to push for multi-party democracy.
Okay.
They were able to push for multi-party democracy successfully because they were supported by an older version of leaders.
Yes.
Who were comprised of the likes of Oginga Odinga,
Yes.
Kenneth Matiba, and others. So through the support that they got from those wazees, they were able to fight for their political space in Kenyan politics during the early 90s. It is the same thing that the governor has tried to encourage the youth of Meru to participate. He's trying to mentor them to participate, to fight for their space also in Meru politics.
Okay.
And I remember he's supporting a movement called Kengangi Movement.
Okay.
Kengangi Movement is basically a movement of the young people of Meru.
Yes.
And we are trying to...
all the young people or the young politicians of
The young politicians of Meru,
Okay.
you see. And we have been going around Meru,
Yes.
campaigning for the governor, and also trying to encourage the youth to fight for their space in politics.
Yes.
Not to be mere cheering squads. They have to ask for more. For example, us in Kengangi Movement, we sat down with the governor, and the governor has promised us that this time round, if we, the youth of Meru, support him fully, that he's going to award us with job opportunities, that majority of those who are going to be government employees in his next term
Yes.
are going to be the youth.
Yes.
We are going to have more senior positions going to the youth. We are going to have more youth doing business with the government.
Yes.
So these are the promises that we are.
Yes.
So we've already struck a deal with him. The youth know what they are going to benefit from the governor.
Yes.
The governor has continuously, consistently reminded us that politics is a game of interests.
Yes.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Okay.
So we are going to scratch his back by ensuring that he gets majority of the votes of the youth
Yes.
here in Meru.
Okay.
And in return, he's going to scratch the backs of the youth by ensuring that we get more job opportunities during his second term.
Yes.
That the 30% procurement opportunities, which are usually slated for the youth, are going to go to the youth.
Okay.
And only the youth
Yes.
this time around. So we expect that more youth will be doing business with the county government of Meru
Yes.
if Kiraitu Murungi
Yes.
wins his second term.
Matu, honest, observation.
Yes.
Do you think the youth will participate in voting
Yes.
come August 2022?
To be honest, my brother, I'm very concerned. As a youth leader, I will say that I'm very concerned because I've done my research
Yes.
and I've been on the ground with the youth, and I must say that they are very discouraged. The youth don't have money. They do not have money in their pockets. The economy is doing badly. Corona put many of them out of business, and so on and so forth. So the youth are discouraged. They don't have a reason of participating in this coming election.
Yes.
But I'm very happy to to say that we've been moving around and we've been trying to change that narrative. And many of them are heeding to our call. So we expect that through initiatives such as ours, and I'm also appealing to other youth leaders across the country, to also try and come up with their own initiatives. Let them encourage vijana to come out in large numbers and vote for the leaders that they deem fit.
Yes.
For example, us here in Meru,
Yes.
we've already decided that we are voting for Governor Kiraitu Murungi. Why? Because of the reasons I've given previously.
Yes.
So, yes, there is that problem, but I believe in the period that the 1 month or so that is remaining, if we all work together, all the other institutions, government institutions and NGOs come together and trying to encourage and try to do what we are doing, trying to encourage the youth to participate in politics, I believe we'll have a change.
Yes.
But right now I'll say that majority of the youth are feeling discouraged. They are feeling that they don't have a reason at all to vote for these leaders. So it's something that we are trying to encourage or to change.
Is this a feeling emanating from the treatment by the county government, or it's a national issue? You know, I would like you to clarify.
It's a national issue. I would say it's a national issue because of, you know, like I mentioned earlier, we've had a period, like 2020 was a very bad year, especially for the young people who are in business. They were the people who had started their startups, you know. It really affected a lot of them. Those who have many companies laid off people.
Yes.
A lot of businesses were closed because of lack of flow of money and lack of customers and such kind of things. So I would say it's something to do with the economy. Yes. The economy has the youth do not have money in their pockets. Yes. And they do not see the need to vote for these people, for the leaders that are out there, because they are not feeling the impact, or maybe they don't feel that there are any policies that are going to help them, that are going to impact their future better. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you have talked about the Kingangi movement.
Yes.
And also probably would like to tell our viewers, you know, it's quite an interesting scenario, and a term that is used, you have been using often in your campaigns. Yeah. Where did this Kingangi thing come from?
That's a very good question. You know, most of them, they usually hear the governor being called Kingangi. Yes. And they are like, they don't understand how is it a crocodile, you know? Crocodile, so what happened, we had a meeting, the governor had a meeting in Central Elementi about 2 years ago. Yes. And so there was this time, people like Mporo Abori, you know, is one of our greatest critics, one of the greatest critics of Governor Kiraitu. So Mporo Abori was here, he was trying to, maybe he was hurling insults, he was hurling attacks at the governor, but the governor said, he went on record during that meeting and he said, you know, our governor is very good in these terminologies. He knows how to create... sure. Yeah, so what he said, he just as a way of responding to the attacks that Mporo Abori was throwing at him. So the governor said that I will not respond and I will not lose focus on working for the people of Meru. I will not take my time off from working for the people of Meru to engage the likes of Mporo Abori. I will remain very focused on my development agenda. But even if the likes of Mporo see me come and not responding to them, let them not mistake me. Let them not mistake my silence for weakness. I'm only remaining calm so that I remain focused on working for the people of Meru. So in a nutshell, he was trying to tell the Mporo Abori that the crocodile, it is still in the water. It is observing you and it is very quiet. But if you try and step into the water, you'll get beaten. You know, so that is why now the narrative of Kingangi, Kirorozene, the youth took it up now. They were very excited about that narrative. So that's how the Kirorozene narrative came up. The crocodile is still in the water. You know, that is how it came up.
All right. Others maybe argue that the crocodile should come out of the water. You know, it's still why should it still remain in the water? Why can't it come out and face the rest?
Now you know, we are having like people like our opponents, people like Kawira Mwangaza, people like Medeka Lenture. The crocodile after elections. Kiraitu Murungi will win these elections. once he wins, it means now the crocodile will have come out of the water, because the likes of Kawira Mwangaza were trying to put their feet into the water.
Yes.
The crocodile now has dealt with them.
Okay.
So the crocodile will come out of the water when the time is right.
When the time is right.
Yes.
During the voting day.
Yes, yes.
So,
yeah, it will devour the prey.
Okay.
Yes.
Mato, we have seen our leaders,
Yes.
especially the CS and the governor. There have been confrontations politically, especially on the Mira issue.
Yeah, sure.
How do you think this will affect the people of Meru in terms of voting come 2022? And do you think this is a good scenario for our youths who are upcoming as politicians? Some of our youths who are upcoming. What do you think?
To be honest, it's not always good to see our seniors fight.
Yes.
And I'll speak on behalf of my boss, because I know him. My boss is a peaceful man. Kiraitu Murungi is a very peaceful man. He has tried on many occasions to reach out to CS Peter Muja.
Okay.
CS Peter Muja is in a very strategic docket, the Ministry of Agriculture.
Yes.
And Governor Kiraitu Murungi is very passionate about bringing goodies back to our people.
Okay.
And he really wanted a good working relationship with CS Peter Munya. After all, Governor Kiraitu is the governor. CS Munya is a CS.
Yes.
So both of them at very high ranking positions. But so what the governor wanted, he wanted him and CS Peter Munya to put their differences aside.
Okay.
But that has been a very difficult task. So like the other day now, you remember the Mira issue. Whatever was done in that the Mira regulations and everything,
yes.
There were no consultations that were made. The CS didn't make any effort to come and meet the farmers or to try and engage the county government on how to enrich whatever was in that document. So now you realize that when Munya released it, it had a lot of issues.
Yes.
And those issues are affecting our farmers. And if anything, the county government has been really on this issue of Mira.
Yes.
Governor Kiraitu has even formed a Mira circle.
Okay.
So lack of consultation has made that document have a very bad landing.
They are both working for Azimio. Do you think this is likely to affect the Azimio vote in August? If they continue with that kind of politics?
What I would say is that what personally my view is that CS Munya should realize that he will not get votes for Azimio if he doesn't understand the importance of working with other people. He needs to calm down and work with Governor Kiraitu Murungi. The other day, the governor of Meru was vindicated. He had made an allegation that Munya was working with Kawira Mwangaza. And it is true. It has been brought on the other day. The CS has been doing rounds across Meru, trying to campaign for Azimio. And it is very clear now that he's actually campaigning for Kawira Mwangaza as well. So if CS Munya supports...
What makes you say that he is campaigning for
I mean, there are video clips that have been, raw video clips that have been going around. Even Poro Abore the other day made such remarks. They've been all over social media. So if what I would say is that what the CS needs to know is that if he will succeed in getting Raila votes here in Meru, he has to work with Governor Kiraitu Murungi. He cannot do it alone. It will be impossible. The governor of Kiraitu Murungi has an extensive network. He works with MCAs, he works with grassroots leaders, he works with other elected leaders. He has an extensive network across Meru. Okay. So he should just, try and be humble a bit so that now they can come together. After all, he's not running for governor. Okay. And the governor is the Azimio candidate as far as the gubernatorial position is concerned in Meru. So teamwork is what will win votes, will get votes for Raila Odinga. Okay. Yeah, so it's not a good scenario as a youth leader. Yes. I would wish that time will come that those differences will be settled. Okay. Yes.
All right, Marvo, what is your last message to the youth as we approach the elections? You only have around 41 days to go.
41 days.
Yeah. What is your appeal?
Yeah. Yes. My appeal is for Vijana, this time round, first and foremost. I would like to appeal to the youth of Meru to have a look at the gubernatorial candidates that we have right now. We have, they are popularly known as Mama, Mamba, and Senator Lentore. That is Governor Kiraitu Murungi. We have Kawira Mwangaza, and we have Mithika Lentore. What I would say is that I would really like to ask them to scrutinize these leaders. They really need to have a look at them and let the youth see which leader has the interest of the youth at heart. For example, Governor Kiraitu Murungi has a youth agenda. He has empowered the youth through Kengangi movement. He has started MYS, which has supported over 2,000 youth already. And right now he's saying that once he wins the election again as governor for his second term, the governor plans on setting aside a 1 billion shillings fund to help the youth in business. Okay. So what agenda does Kawira Mwangaza have for the youth other than donating gumboots, you know? What agenda does Senator Mithika Lentore have other than saying that he will support ladies with, you know, protective nini, you know? So we need to really look at them in that way. And I would really like to urge them to vote for Governor Kiraitu Murungi because he's the only one. Apart from them saying that he's old and what have you, he's the only leader who has a youth agenda. Nobody else, out of the three, nobody else has a youth agenda. And he has ensured that people even like myself, and I'm an example, I'm not related to him. I was actually a student leader, but he got me out of student leadership and brought me in. He has supported me and others across the entire county, even through MYS and other such kind of initiatives. So it is only Governor Kiraitu who has the interest of the youth at heart, and I would really like to appeal to them to vote for Governor Kiraitu Murungi and also to vote for Raila Odinga. Okay. Yes. All right. Yes.
Thank you, Marvo.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for gracing SIASA.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
And it's also good to come and talk about youth issues with such a passion.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
we hope to see you soon, even as we approach the elections.
Absolutely.
We'll engage you more.
Absolutely.
Especially on matters youth. I've seen you have quite a good experience on that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about youth and politics.
Yes.
And naomba tupige siasa kwa amani.
Okay. Asante.
Asante.
Thank you very much. Meru TV viewers, that has been SIASA. I've been your host, Godfrey Mutiga. Today we have been talking about matters youth. And I've been hosting Marvin Mzito to talk about the expectations of the youth before the general elections and what has been achieved so far, especially on matters to do with the youths of Meru. We have been coming to you from the 3 Stars Hotel, and you are welcome here to have your best of the hospitality from the 3 Stars Hotel. Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel at Meru TV on Facebook and also Meru TV on YouTube. See you next time.